Hi guys, welcome back. I know I haven't made a video for a while, and the last video was quite a disappointing one, to be fair. So what I've done now, I've emptied all the tanks in the living room, so they're all empty and ready. I'm going to move those angels and the L333 Blackos into the living room because I thought I've got nice fish out here, may as well move them in there, and then obviously it's already warm in there. And I'm going to move the Dark Knight Rams into the living room as well. So I'll keep hold of them, and then there's just a breeding pair of angels and the Frontosa I'm looking to rehome. As I say, this room's costing a lot of heat and it just, for me, the space isn't big enough to enjoy the money I'm spending on heating. I'd like to get a bigger building with, so I can't do both at the moment. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so what I thought I'd do is, I thought today I'd go out and get some sarasa comets. Hi guys, so welcome back. I've been to the shop and I've handpicked two. The shop let me handpick them on my own, so it was quite cool. So what I've done is I've picked a couple that kind of look like koi to me. There's a couple of scales missing. I don't know whether you can see them. So there's one that's just got white on the head, and then there's one that's got a lot of colour in the body. Now they wear pond fish. But I want to raise them and see how big we can get them. I'm going to start feeding bloodworm. Well, what I'm going to do is set up a quarantine. Let me explain how I'm going to quarantine it. So I'm going to set up a tank, 100 litre tank to quarantine, like the two of them. I wouldn't normally keep them in 200 litres of water. I'd go bigger. 100 litres of water. I'd keep them in at least 100 litres each and then get them in a pond as they get bigger. But what I'm going to do is quarantine them and keep an eye on them. I'm going to feed them peas. I've noticed there's a few scales missing on them, so I'm going to feed them de-shell peas to clear out the system because it acts like a laxative, and then I'll get something good in them today, and then just observe them. I'm just thinking about, so what I'm thinking, I've got salt. I use this, I always bring the salt level up after about, depending on how they're looking, I'll get the salt level up and then I'll deworm them and defluke them, and then I keep an eye on them. I'll do that over about 4 weeks. But that's how I quarantine goldfish, and I know a lot of people go mad about using salt. It's like, I use like 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons, US gallons, so in 100 litres of water you're probably putting 5 tablespoons of salt in there. It's not, I've done it for years, and all of goldfish societies, I'm a member of all the goldfish societies, the BAS, Bristol Aquarium Society, AMGK, and the Goldfish Society of Great Britain. I'm a member of all of them, so, and all of them recommend the similar quarantine that I do. So it's an old school quarantine, and so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to start feeding them bloodworm, my favourite duckweed. I'm going to pop them in this tank, I think, and let them nail all that duckweed, and then I'm going to feed bloodworm, brine shrimp, and I've got some pellets. I've got some bug bites, some hikari, sake hikari, what else have I got? I've got rapashi, super gold. So they're going to get a good diet. And what I'm thinking of doing, well, what I am doing, is once these tanks are empty, I'm going to bring me orandas, put them in this tank, and then I've got the light that's on here, I've got 2 of them, so I'm thinking light that tank up, and then maybe get some Hillstream lunches to clean the glass. It'd be cool, and then feed them. Put my rancho in here, me 4 orandas in there, and then me 2 sarasa comets in here. These sarasa comets are my favourite fish ever. So there we are, guys. I've got a 100 litre tank set up. This is my first, well, it's not mine, but it's the first tank I ever had. It's exactly the same tank as that. So I've popped them in, temperature acclimatised them. I've popped this in. Obviously I've turned the air off while we're doing this, while I'm recording, but there they are. It's just a temporary tank. So what I do is get them in. Obviously these sponge filters have been cycled. Put 1 each in for them. And I've got some peas here. Now I used to just chop them up, but now I just mash them because It's just easier, and I feel like they can eat it better, so I'll pop that in, see how they get on with that. They might eat it, they might not, but I'll just keep an eye on them throughout the day. I like to feed them peas first because it's a laxative, so I like to get it in them and then see what comes out of them, and then give them something high protein, maybe like bloodworm afterwards, like later on this evening. And as they keep bottom sitting, but obviously I pan picked these, and then there's that one like a lot of red on it, and then that one just got red on its head, which I thought was cool. The kind of different patterns for sarasa comets. I want to grow these out and see how big we can get them. But I'll say these are my absolute favourite fish. I can't get a light for the tank. I think the driver or the bulb's gone in this. But I'll say it's only for a quarantine. We'll only keep them in there for a couple of weeks, and then, well, a month I usually quarantine for, and then we'll get them in a bigger tank. Probably about 100 litres each, and then we'll look at getting them in a pond in the spring and growing them out, which I think will be cool. See how big we can get them. But what I'm after, guys, is I want some names for them, if we can, and then I'll show you how we're quarantining them and stuff as we're doing it. So I emptied this tank as well. I put up the Manica Peru in the living room and the L333s. So what I thought I'd do is I'd pop Big Bob in here. There he is. I thought I'd bring him in for the winter and just pop him in here. I've left the tank like it is at the moment because I'm curious to see what a goldfish will do to a planted tank. It's gone absolutely massive out there in the summer. I mean, he's only a pet shop quality ranchu, but you know, he has not put some size on. His scales look pretty cool as well. Hi guys, so it's the next day now. They've perked up a bit now because the water's warmed up overnight, so I've been keeping an eye on them. I'm gonna give them a feed now and give them a water change. I'll do a 50% water change. Let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna give them one each actually. Like, there we go. There's some brine shrimp with garlic. It boosts their appetite, but obviously the metabolism will have sped up now. Now they're indoors. Let's see if I can get a light on them. There's a light just here. No. I'm going to do a big water change on this morning, like now. Let's give the guy I've nicknamed Big Bob a brine shrimp, see how he gets on. He's perked up a bit. He does this floaty thing. I'll say he's a pet shop goldfish, so he's not show quality or anything, but it doesn't matter, does it? God, this water isn't half warmer. You should smell the garlic and go nuts. Or taste even. So Big Bob's going ham on his food. I just fed him, obviously I fed him the garlic, and then when I came back in I gave him some bug bites and he absolutely nailed them, and then I fed some veg flakes as well. I've overfed them a bit, but I'm not really fussed because I just wanted to get them gut loaded, and then I'll do a big water change on this tank. And then these two weren't really fussed about the food at first, but I fed them some garlic and brine shrimp garlic, obviously you've seen that, and they didn't really go for it at first, so I left them alone for 5 minutes. When I came back in they were going nuts for it, and then I fed a load of veg flakes and fluval bug bites for goldfish, and they both went nuts for them. So but like, I've overfed them, but it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to get them gut loaded and I'm going to do a massive water change now. So I'm going to do a big water change and get this video uploaded. And don't forget, I need names. I want names for this one and this one. I'd love some suggestions if you can, guys. Cheers.